Introducing Sula, the new all-in-one medication. Do not take Sula if you are sensitive to subjects including death, gore, heavy topics including racism, sexism, misogyny, sexual assault, and child abuse. Ask your therapist about Sula. Hey, VSauce, Michael here. I'm here in Sula because I'm hungry. Got these chicken strips right here because it's Monday and it's a sale on Mondays. Now, these chicken strips look pretty good. You know, these chickens had to die for these. Death makes me hungry. Let's go down and eat these. I can finally eat these. Toni Morisson. She won the Nobel Prize for her book, Sula. A book that really isn't even about Sula, but what she does. She isn't even the main character. Her best friend, Nell, is. It has commentary on companionship, womanhood, racism, and the experience of a black woman. There's conflict, death, and steamy scenes, like the ones you guys make of me online. It's a pretty amazing symbolism. I would highly recommend. But this chicken is really good. Why are we even talking about Sula right now? I mean, we're at a Safeway. I'm eating chicken. Something else is tickling my fancy. Chicken Little. He was found dead. Right over there, by the river. There are many ways one can die. Only so many ways one can kill. Intention is one of the biggest factors. An accident, after all, is much harder to hold accountable. There is a difference between murder and manslaughter. Now, I'm not a detective, but we do know how Chicken Little died. Sula was playing with Chicken Little when she threw him into the river. Now, I don't know if you've ever been thrown into a river, but that hurts. If you don't land right, you die. My dad was cliff jumping once. He didn't land right. A pencil dive, really anything else. And he broke 8 of his ribs. It wasn't even that high, it was more like 20 feet. Now, we don't know how high this river was, but suffice it to say, if it's sufficiently high enough, Chicken Little would have died. But did Sula mean to kill him? After all, the scene is contextualized as if they're playing. We read of how Sula and Nell just waited for him to come out of the water. Did he really just slip out of Sula's arms, or was this intentional? There are many kinds of ways people can die. Toni Morisson, however, isn't very direct, so we may need to read deeper to figure out why Chicken Little died and Sula and Nell's motives behind this. Selfishness. Give me that. Or maybe less selfishness, but more viewing the world as a game. This is a trait Sula exemplifies through most all of the book, and it's very apparent in how she views and treats Nell. It's not exactly clear when she develops this worldview, but this could possibly be the moment in which it started. I got you, didn't I? You're trying to predict where I'm going. You thought I was going to come up over there, didn't you? Well, I got you. Regardless, Sula's later actions are interesting, to say the least. I don't know if you've ever been cheated on by your husband, but Nell certainly has. After marrying Jude, Jude cheats on her, with Sula of all people. Now, Jude isn't completely blameless, as Sula is the one who seduced him, but it's still interesting to see that Sula just does what she wants, steals Jude away from her best friend, Nell. And I don't know if you've ever had to watch your mother burn, but Sula did. She sat back and watched, with intrigue, and on her deathbed, she wants to tell Nell, of all people, the person she stole Jude from, about how death didn't even hurt her. Her primary motive seems to be her experience, a quantity of, instead of those of others around her. She comes off as indifferent, living her own best life, even if followed by destruction. Freedom is also very interesting when in this context. At the start of the book, we see Nell meeting Rochelle, witnessing her pride, freedom in herself, and she declares she wants to be free. When juxtaposed with Helene's parenting, we find this to mean freedom in defining herself, independent to her mother's idea of womanhood. So we see Nell aspire to this kind of freedom, while Sula's out there living her best life, her own kind of freedom. We cannot know what exact freedom Nell was wishing for, but if we assume it's similar to Sula's, Chicken Little once again gets very interesting. After all, in the final chapter, Nell exclaims, "We were girls together" with Sula, when referencing, oddly enough, Chicken Little's death. Nell, however, grows into what might be a more typical womanhood, marries Jude, dedicates herself to caring for him and the children. She is certainly no more free than typical married women of the time.
Now, after Sula's death, Nell actually comes to the conclusion that it was not Jude that she missed this whole time. It was actually Sula. She laments their freedom, laments their friendship, laments being girls together. Now, Nell and Sula actually both kind of seem to swap places.
Nell wishes to be free, but ends up settling, conforming to society. Sula, though, wishes not outwardly for camaraderie, but seems to run from it through sexual freedom. Loneliness does strange things to people. Sula seems lonely, at least after Nell settles, but despite her sexual freedoms and her wish for independence, she does eventually fall into love. A man named Ajax. The things she values in him seem to be traits of a friend. He respected her, felt comfort in her presence, but not dependence. She even laments the lack of this in other men, stating outright she had been looking all along for a friend, and it took her a while to discover a lover was not a comrade and could never be. So, Chicken Little. With all of this context, it seems his death does come at an important time for the characters. On one hand, Nell still has her freedom before she got married, and Sula still has her camaraderie. If she hasn't settled into her belief that she can't find it outside of her girlhood with Nell, it seems strange that she would kill Chicken Little on purpose. Nell, though, talks of a happiness when Chicken Little didn't return from the water. In fact, she says this during the same monologue when she realized the two being girls together. It's still very likely an accident, but Nell certainly has a response that would back up intent, at least from her. There's plenty of symbolism here, and we can discern that Nell is either on her quest for freedom here. Chicken Little could even be at the peak of that art for her, but Nell didn't throw Chicken Little. Sula did. Tying all the pieces together, Sula probably didn't kill Chicken Little on purpose. Likely, it was manslaughter. And while there are a few arguments on the basis of negligence, we can at least say that Sula didn't try to kill Chicken Little. For the context of the book, though, this scene holds a lot. It's a bit of a divergence for Sula and Nell. Nell going off in a direction opposing her declaration at the start of the book, and Sula living a life of freedom and disposal of men. Chicken Little's death holds many a symbolism, especially how it's wrapped back to at the end. Shadrach seeing them too holds importance, as he proves to later be a mirror to Sula. Perhaps his watching represents Sula seeing these freedoms in herself, especially when juxtaposed with the stick-digging scene, which we can't talk about here, but it would make a lot of sense. And here we are, back at the river, where Chicken Little was found. My chicken strips are gone, and so is he. I got these at Safeway because I was hungry. Maybe Sula was just hungry for independence. We'll never truly know. But thank you for watching. See you next time.